Hello guys, welcome to Global Happenings. Today we have a trending news here for you. And the headings of the news reads, Sowore rearrest. More US Senator react after the presidency's reply. See details. But before we continue with details of the news and further analysis, we'd like to encourage you to please subscribe to our channel by clicking on the red subscribe button and also the bell icon so that you can get notification anytime we publish videos on YouTube. Alright, let's listen to the news in detail. More American lawmakers continue to raise concern over the continued detention of Omoyele Sowore, a political activist and publisher of Sahara Reporter. The Nigerian presidency, wary of international criticism, accused foreign government of interfering in Nigerian affairs by questioning Mr. Buhari's respect for the rule of law. Femi Adesina, who is the presidential spokesperson, on Wednesday asked foreign countries to stop the interference in the affairs of Nigeria, especially as it concerns the issue of human rights abuses. This was disclosed by him while reacting to reports from the EU, UK, and the US that they were concerned about the disrespect Nigerian presidency is showing towards the rule of law, including its treatment of the activist Mr. Omoyele Sowore. Many foreign lawmakers, however, has continued to react to criticize the Nigerian government over the rearrest and detention of Mr. Sowore on treason charges by the state security services. He was arrested on August 8 for planning a revolutionary protest against poor governance. He spent over 145 days in detention alongside his co-defendant Olawale Bakare, despite the fact that the court has mandated their release earlier. The duo were released a day before their court hearing last Friday, but the operative of DSS invaded the courtroom again to rearrest the political activists, which the video went viral. The activities of the secret police already sparked nationwide uproar and international criticism against Mr. Buhari's government. On Tuesday, Chris Cohn, a U.S. senator, spoke out about Mr. Sowore rearrest. Mr. Cohn is the vice chairman of the Senate Ethics Committee and a member of the Senate Foreign Relations. He said in a tweet, and I quote, "concerned that this case is representative of closing of political and media space in Nigeria. Civil society leaders and human rights defenders should be celebrated, not prosecuted in Nigeria and around the world. I'm deeply concerned by the harassment and repeated detainment of Nigerian activists, journalists, and former presidential candidate of AAC Omoyele Sowore. I urge Nigerian security service to respect the due process and the rule of law, release Sowore, pay his bail term, and launch an investigation into his rearrest." Again on Thursday, a senator from New York, Chuck Schumer, asked Mr. Buhari to honor previous court rulings. He also expressed dissatisfaction over Mr. Sowore's continued detention. And in his word, he said, "I am disheartened by reports that Omoyele Sowore, who is an activist, journalist, American citizen, was rearrested by Nigerian government. President Buhari should heed that previous court ruling and international sentiment and immediately free Omoyele Sowore." All right, that's where we're going to leave it. This is really a serious case because before now, a member of United States House of Representatives, one Karim Bass, did say that the act of DSS to Mr. Sowore violate a fragment of his fundamental human right. And the reason all of this was said was the fact that they are considering the level of arrest that and detention of different personality who, by the grounds of politics, they are being put in detention. The likes of the former National Security Advisor Sambo Dansuki and also Shiite leader Ibrahim El Zakzaki. All of that has popped up a lot of response from the international body. And my colleague is in the house here, and we want to look at the reaction of the senators towards what they call the breach of fundamental human rights, and also the lack of respect for the rule of law. What do you think this massive response and reaction by these senators will cost Nigeria?
Well, as usual, they are not very quick to show their reactions. They are only, in their own way, telling the Nigerian government, obey the rule of law. And there are ways to sanction an erring country. You don't necessarily have to come to war against them, because truly they're a sovereign state. They have their rights, they have their laws governing them, they have their rules and regulations. But whatever the rules and regulations are in any democratic setting should resemble every other democratic setting. Now, we all know that UK have their charter, same thing with United States, and all of them are all entrenched in those laws, which Nigeria is a partner to. So if for any reason they have seen the videos went viral, when the government of the day wanted a situation, wanted a situation where they will cut out the issue of free speech via social media, it was something like this, so that Nigerians will not react much, because if they call this hate speech on social media and you upload such things, you go down. It was actually a tactical move by the government of the day, but we thank God that it didn't see the light of day, at least not for the now. And I trust that it will not see the light of the day forever in this same issue. Now, imagine if there's a situation where such things were not allowed and hate speech came into bear and became a law, which means this that is happening, all these things that is happening to Sowore will not be known by the people of the American Senate or even the UN and EU. It will just die within Nigeria, not even within Nigeria, within the space where Sowore is resident. But we thank God that the social media bill has not been passed, and the social media has not been passed to law, and that's why wherever they are, they can easily upload such things on the internet, and the internet has no respect for location, which means an American citizen, a senator, can see what is happening. Videos don't lie. So it's obvious that the rule of law is being broken, and they are now saying no to it. As usual, they will always give you times warnings and all that. They've been warning, and it looks as if Nigeria is not listening. They are respecting the sovereign state, sovereign nature of Nigeria. But the time will come, if they watch and they find out that Nigeria have not adjusted, the government of the day have not adjusted or taken heed of the warning, then get ready. Nigeria will start seeing sanctions from all angles. Don't forget that we still have bilateral trade with some of these guys. We need them as much as they need us. Don't also forget that our oil, we can't drink our oil alone, the petroleum. We need to sell it out, and that's in fact, why we call ourselves a multi-sectoral economy. But I feel we are more of mono. We are not multi, which means we strongly depend on oil. And imagine if the sanction of PEC sanctions us, one of the oil producing nations say we can't sell our oil to the open market. Economically, we are almost done for. Imagine if a situation where they said, look, all the sporting activities, Nigeria must be banned. They must not partake in any economic and sporting relationship with any country. Then we are looking at a serious situation here. We are not even independent yet. As when it comes to finances, when it comes to economy, we so much need that. Imagine, we are still owing a lot of countries. Imagine if they said, okay, for that reason, pay us all our debt now so that we can free you. Where do we stand? Some of the decisions, these are things that the likes of Adesina should be thinking whenever he makes such this statement by saying the presidency said that they should not interfere. Much as you are a sovereign state, you are answerable to some set of people when the rule of law is broken. I just pray that they will generally heed this call and not put Nigeria in general in problem, because these sanctions is not going to be just for the federal government. It's going to slap on all Nigerians as well. Imagine where we are not allowed to have free trade. Imagine where our oil is no longer acceptable in the free market, where we can't sell the major source of our income, as a country. What do you think will happen to the common man when they say even the way they're getting the money to even pay salaries, they now say they don't have such money? The common man will suffer. That's actually my fear, really.
All right, thank you very much. We are hopeful that this will begin to yield results, because I believe that by the time they keep mounting pressure and they're seeing international reactions, and Nigeria being put on the international spotlight, automatically it will force their hands to some extent, which I believe that may possibly happen. Don't forget that, as my colleague has rightly said, there's a lot of huge dependency on the international relations. For example, most of the trips that the president have been having, that's I'm talking about medical trips that he's been having, it's not to any African country. He goes beyond the shores of Nigeria. At least he goes as far as UK, and UK has already, responded to the war against this sudden war against fundamental human rights of Nigerians. And with all of that, with this bilateral relationship we'll have with them, I don't think that the government of the day will still want to maintain their position. Don't also forget that already we'll be bringing you the news immediately that the AGF, I'm talking about the Attorney General of the Federation, has already demanded DSS to hand off the issue and hand over the case. So I think there's going to be sudden changes based on international interference. Well, for me, when they talk about interference on the part of these guys, I keep wondering what they mean by interference, because whether you like it or not, if you begin to trample on fundamental human rights of the people, you are committing what I consider to be an international crime. You are committing crime against humanity. And when you're committing a crime against humanity, automatically international bodies will begin, and other nations will begin to look at you and begin to, shout to see how those things can be corrected, because what is bad in the United States is also bad down here. So I don't think it's a case of interference. They're not trying to tell you your budget is too big for Nigeria. They're not trying to tell you we don't like that kind of president and all of that. That's not what they're telling you. They're telling you, hey, we have a citizen there and you're trampling on his right, and we want you to get him out of your enslavement that you're trying to put on him. So with all of that, I think there's going to be a change of mind very soon. Well, we'd like to leave it there. Go to our comment section. Let us